I had reached Bangladesh on May 27, 2010 and left sometime in June or July 2011, so just more than a year. And because of the recent Bangladesh political upheaval, many people in India have been talking about Bangladesh politics and the geopolitical situation. So, some experiences that I would like to add and talk about. In this video, I would like to specifically talk about uh, one section of Bangladesh. I'm not sure if minority is the right word. So essentially, there are some population of in Dhaka, in proper Dhaka, there is some population of Bihari Muslims. Uh, Also, some population of uh, Telugu, Telugu speaking people. Because what had happened is that the flat in which I was living, provided by the employer, the newspaper where I was working. So one day, the cleaner comes in, and the cleaner says namaskar to me, and he's the sweeper cleaner, and he tells me that uh, in broken Bangla and Hindi, he tells me that Ami Telugu, and I was quite surprised to hear that he's a Telugu speaking person. But so when I asked him, and as he kept coming and our conversation grew, I understood and I realized that there is a Telugu colony in Dhaka, and whoever is listening, whoever will listen to this and is aware can correct me if I'm wrong. So what had happened is that what I had learned is that after the partition of India and after the formation of West Pakistan and East Pakistan, some people were sent from India for to do cleaning work in these countries, and they or I'm presuming they were living there since 19 before 1947. So what I understood was that, and I was surprised. I had never thought that that I would find Telugu speaking people in Dhaka, and I learned that there are some Tamil and Telugu people living in Pakistan as well. Talking of Bihari Muslims, that is a topic on which I did some research. So what had happened is that after 1947, and what I had heard is that sometime around 290, during the 50s and the 60s, some population from India had migrated to East Pakistan, and till the time I was there, they were called stranded Pakistanis. There was a full acronym to address them, standard SP, standard Pakistani something. So after these people went to East Pakistan, and they because how I got introduced to them was one day after lunch, me and one of my Indian colleague had moved into a pawn parlor or a pawn shop, and this my colleague says that these people are Indians. I was a little surprised. I didn't ask them much because I had heard about Bihari population living in East Pakistan, which I had thought that must be the Hindi speaking population who had migrated to East Pakistan and could not move to West Pakistan, and these people. But what I had realized that day is that some of them, and again, people can correct me, but some of them, uh, if they used to meet any Indian presently who is an Indian, used to say, they used to like express their affinity towards India. Matlab, like, and most of them are like running pawn shops or running salons. Mostly salons that you will see, hair salons, you will see in Dhaka, are run by the Biharis. And so so that day, when my colleague said that they are Indians, but I understood that they are not actually Indians. They are Bihari Muslims who have migrated to East Pakistan and then left were left behind in Bangladesh. And that after that day, I my interest grew on this community, about this community. And then before leaving Bangladesh, I had visited the Geneva camp, where most of these Bihari Muslims reside. Over the years now, I think they have moved out of that camp. And but I remember that there were some eateries around Geneva camp, and they were famous for luchi and chapli. I think chapli kebab, if I'm not wrong. Uh, Also, I was surprised to see that this this goat, which had long ears, which is not usually found like in the eastern part of the eastern part of subcontinent. So I will share some of the photographs that I had in this video. I will share some photographs of that I had clicked in Geneva camp. And so the people had so I would, if I'm correct me if I can call them refugees stranded in Bangladesh, in Dhaka. And they had made a name for their specialization, which is perhaps the Bihari kebab, because Bihari kebab is also one special delicacy which is unique to Bihar, and which is even in Delhi. Not many places you rarely find Bihari kebabs, which is, it is the galawat of the papaya, the raw papaya, and the spices mixed with mustard oil. So Bihari kebab is very popular. I'm not sure if they if they call it as Bihari kebab in Dhaka, but because in Delhi they are regarded as Bihari kebab. But I tasted Bihari kebab there. Also, all the hair salons, most of the hair salons that I had visited were run by the Bihari barbers. And they also were into a lot of machine work, garage work, something like that, as far as I can recollect. And also they were known for their pulao. Uh, Everything is called as biryani in Dhaka, but there are different kinds of biryani in Dhaka, kachi biryani and all. But the pulao made by the Bihari people is also quite popular, which is available in Geneva camp. So here's my experience and my knowledge, little bit of knowledge about the Bihari people and the Telugu people living in Dhaka. Here's some photographs that I had clicked. This is a photo of a school inside Geneva camp. This gentleman, I remember, was one of the workers, caretakers in the school. A generic scene from the lanes of Geneva camp. There were these very small rooms and houses. So one of these dingy lanes. Here's a child. I mentioned about the motor work mostly the motor works that they do. They run these salons. So he was one of the salon owner. Here's this office of the Bihari people, stranded Pakistanis, in the Geneva camp. In 2010, he was the president of the society, and here's the biryani that I was speaking about.